Hi, Pisces. Oh, you thought you was getting the ocean, didn't you? You thought, and that could be actually something that's coming through. You thought it was going to be one way, but it's actually going to be another way. So, hydrate, light it if you got it. Let's get into it. Grab your team. Hey, Pisces. It's your girl, Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Cancer season 2024. Yeah, that was me adjusting my booty meat. Got to sit on your sit bones, baby. And it's funny, yes, I'm in Hawaii, and yes, one would think that I would be giving the ultimate water sign, the ocean, and ocean views, but you got Saturn retrograding in your sign, which lets me know you guys are about to get forced to get grounded, forced to get disciplined, forced to get regimented in a way that may feel uncomfortable. Some of you have already done it, and it's just like, oh, we're still doing this? Oh, okay. Yes, we're still doing this. And I feel like test season is here. This is you getting tested. It's funny, Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You is being played right now on the neighbor. And are you comparing somebody to someone? Are you comparing something? Is there something that you can't get out of your head? Someone you can't get out of your head? Some way you thought it would be that has you clinging to a fantasy that isn't actually the reality that you're in the midst of? Pisces, I wanted to give you ground and Gaia and lushness because your relationship to consistency is changing. And I feel like a lot of you have already been in it for a while, and now it's just a matter of consistency, diligence, like continuing the education that comes from said grounding. But stop comparing. Stop comparing your life to other people's lives. Stop comparing your spiritual growth, your manifestations to other people. Stop comparing your partner to other people. Stop comparing things to the past, because it's in a way diminishing what can come in the future, who can come in the future, who people are able to develop into in the future, what you are able to develop into in the future. Comparison is the, what is it, the thief of joy? And here you are already showing up. Some of you, I also am taking the Nothing Compares to You. Some of you are comparing yourself to an old version of yourself, comparing your life to an old version of your life. I also feel like some of you are feeling really down in the dumps, and you don't realize that there's somebody that's like, hey, don't nothing compare to Pisces. Don't nothing compare to this person. Don't nothing compare to this love that I received. There's no friendship. There's no better friendship. There's no better connection. I feel like you're really being asked to make sure that you know how fucking dope you are, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You are phenomenal. You are so loved. You are so seen, so creative, so artistic, wise, wildly wise beyond your years. And I just need you to know you are the end of it all and the most complex sign in the most complex season, because you are all of the signs in one. Don't nothing compare to you. I love you. Now let's get into it. Welcoming in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, They asked me a long time ago not to pray while I'm smoking, so excuse me. Sorry. Wanting to create a safe space. I don't have the bells with me. Creating a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Cancer season 2024. Happy summer solstice. Welcome to the season of I Feel, y'all. We're going to be feeling. Y'all already be feeling. But I feel like the feeling seeps out finally. It pours out for a lot of you. And whether versus and instead of being ashamed of what pours out of you, I feel like you don't realize what it's doing for those around you. Even if nobody sees you cry, the version of you, the relief that pours out, like the pain that pours out generates this relief inside of you, and you start being a better person. You start being a better friend, a better lover, a better co-worker, a better, employee, a better parent. And for those of you who do have some kind of emotional outpouring and people see it, I feel like it creates this safe space for other people to be their whole selves. So for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. First card out that we have, first thing to be clarified on the selenite throne is the Five of Wands. And so there is some sort of a conflict in the realm of your physical, spiritual, sexual energy. Some of you may be quite combative in Cancer season. It may be you, it may be someone with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. There could just be a lot of conflictual energy inside of you. So many things that you want to do and you don't know where to start, and where to start is silence. Where to start is stillness. Where to start is your thought process. Because if you fuck around and become more masterful in the mind, you'll become more masterful with your thoughts. And when you're more masterful with your thoughts, you'll be more masterful with your words. And your words are setting very specific things in motion. And I feel like there's this like influx of physical, spiritual, and sexual energy that may be causing you to be combative. Some of you may just find yourself being more prickly, find yourself being more feisty, may find yourself being, also if it's not you, it may be this fire sign that you're around, it could be your friend group that you're around, there could just be conflict, like an internal conflict that you're feeling, that you're sensing. And I feel like this internal conflict, it comes from the fact that you are capable of so much more than what you're actually putting out right now. You may be very content with life as it is right now, but there's more. There's more for you to experience. There's more for you to accomplish. Also, I feel like some of you may be having a lot of, like maybe being promiscuous. You may be dating a lot of people or fucking a lot of people, or, just really like entwining your energy with a lot of people. And I just feel like that may cause some internal conflict. There just may be too much energy on you guys. I feel like a lot of you need to do a big cleanse or a big detox in Cancer season. Specifically detoxing your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. Detoxifying yourself and your energy and your spirit from some of the people that have been combative in your life, or you just may realize, or you just may be thinking that you're just out having, like having fun. And you just may be picking up on energies that later become very conflictual. Some of you are having a big conflict with someone with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. And everyone involved has a point, has a valid point. And you are the sign of compassion. You are the sign of unconditional love. So I feel like you'll be able to see it from other perspectives, but just make sure that you slow down, that you don't just perpetuate the fight. All right, Pisces. The Emperor reversed. Aquarius got this in the plunge. The Emperor reversed, it's definitely, there could be some conflict with someone with Aries placements, Scorpio placements, a conflict with your father, a conflict with a boss, you not seeing eye to eye. Sorry, I don't have boogers. There's bugs everywhere. And so, this conflict, I wish you could see this little bird that's just so bold and hanging out. I ain't got nothing for you, player. I hope he comes in the frame. I hope you can see this. Anyway, are you dealing with a tyrant? Are you being a bully? Are you being a tyrant? Do you need to remove yourself from a situation? You may notice a change in the attitude of your boss or this Aries or Scorpio. There could be just also something about unreliability, not feeling reliable. I want you to see this fucking bird. Can you see it? Oh, he moved. He doesn't want to be in the shot. Fine. Ultimately, there's chaos. Chaos is present somewhere in your life, and Saturn going retrograde in your sign is going to help you identify the source of the chaos. And it may have been stemmed from chaos that you perceived from your father or a father figure. It may be your concept of what you think a boss is supposed to be, or what authority is supposed to look like or feel like, or how authority is supposed to be expressed. But I ultimately think this has a lot to do with reliability. Someone that you thought you could rely on, maybe you can't rely on them anymore. Someone that you were relying on proves to be unreliable, or is proving to go in a different direction, or isn't behaving the way that you want them to. Just make sure you're not manipulating them. I also feel like some of you are working very hard to build your own particular empire, and things are going way slower than you expected, possibly. They're going slower because the divine wants you building something fucking solid, rock solid, not just the quick and dirty version of something. I feel like some of you have the opportunity to go to therapy and you need to do it. Some of you, there's someone with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements playing a big role, or you're co-creating with them. I feel like it's time to figure out what the plan is, figure out what the blueprint is. What is the blueprint of like the life that you want? How does it look? How does it feel? How does it taste? How does it smell? Who's there? Who's not there? It's time to configure your blueprint and take it to the God of your understanding, the ultimate architect. Because you're rebuilding atop a certain kind of a rubble. Something may have started to fall apart or go in a different direction than what you expected, and you're rebuilding. It's just going to take time. Then we have the Hermit reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed as the final card. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands, babe. Why are you doing what you're doing, and how are you going to do it? How it's time to start focusing on the how to accomplish this thing that you're trying to create. It's time to be way more future oriented. It's time to be willing to turn your back on some stuff so that you can merge your passion with your practicality. You've got to be diligent. You've got to be consistent. And I feel like there is something that you're passionate about, and you need to reconnect to that. There's someone you're passionate about. There may be somebody with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements that's going in a different direction. This is me going a little bit into the plunge, and I hope to see you over there on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Over there, we're going to clarify all the cards. Join my ethical cult. It's dope. I like it. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. But for free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything. TikTok at JustJEverything. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, JustJEverything.com. So, what do you need to turn your back on, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising? What do you need to tap into that root chakra energy? Are you locked in root chakra? Are you locked in survival? Are you locked in, surviving versus thriving? And what's keeping you in this survival based place? What's keeping you just doing the bare minimum? Because I feel like you are being developed into someone that is popular and attractive and a visionary. Like, there is a vision that I feel like you need to tap into. This version of you that's made it. What are they doing on a consistent basis, and how can you bridge the gap between what you're doing and what that version of you that's made it is doing on a consistent basis? Two major arcana, the Emperor reversed and the Hermit reversed. So the Hermit is Virgo energy, and that's your shadow. Virgo is I analyze. And so I feel like your analyzation process has been a bit askew, and what your concept of security, of comfortability, I feel like is just a bit out of whack. And so there's something around, like, you may be thinking that everything is secure, everything's fine. All I needed was to make X amount of money. All I needed was to, get this kind of job. All I needed was to get this house. All I needed was to move to this state. All I needed was to blah, blah, blah. And I feel like some of you are starting to realize, like, that ain't it. There's more. It's giving Deftones, that song, like, feels like more. Hydrate. Light it if you got it. So let's zoom out a bit. Cancer season is going to bring conflict. Your boss may be asking more of you. Your family may be asking more of you. Your partner may be asking more of you, and you don't think you have more to give, but you do. You have so much more to give. I just feel like you need to just make sure you're giving it to yourself first before you can grant access to anybody else. Like, before you can grant other people the access to your more, you gotta be feeling the more. The Three of Pentacles also feels like, I feel like some of you are putting someone on a pedestal. Like, you're putting somebody else's abilities on a pedestal. Like, you think that they can do more than you can do. Or a boss, some of you may be getting picked over for a promotion or a job, or someone, and it has everything to do with their demeanor. It has everything to do with, like, their level of optimism, like their happy-go-lucky shit, and you may not access that within yourself. You may not know how to turn it on that way, so other people aren't perceiving you as having certain qualities that you do possess. So I do feel like there is something about coming out of the shell and displaying who you truly are. But first, analyzing why you're in the shell for this long, analyzing why you've been in, hermit mode. I feel like finally, this depends. Some of you are in hermit mode. Some of you are lonely. Some of you are isolating. Some of you are depressed. Some of you are really anxious, and you have been like la 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 ing your way through all those emotions versus looking at it and getting to the root. And when you look at it and get to the root, it's going to help you really soar financially and physically. But you got to look at it. And I feel like another group of you are also very much so breaking out of this isolation, breaking out of hermit mode, finally coming out of the closet, coming out of your shell, being willing to take other people's advice, being willing to take constructive criticism. I also just like feel demotion energy. Some of you are like, I'm demoting myself, or this is too much for me, or this is your expectations are too high, or something of that nature. I don't have what you want to give. And I feel like that person isn't asking too much. They just may be asking the wrong person, or you just may be with the wrong person who isn't inspiring you to give the more that you actually have. I hope that makes sense. I feel like this is a bit of a lonely or solitary kind of reading. It feels like Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Some of you are starting to realize like the power of friends, or just how much you've isolated yourself or closed yourself off, and like you don't want to do that shit anymore. You don't want to be in that place anymore. There's new hopes, new wishes, new desires that are coming, that are rising up within you, that are going to start to show you, I can go my own way. That song keeps coming up. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Oh, now it's raining. Cool. You may think that you're not in the right environment, and I just feel like the right environment is cultivated inside of you. It has nothing to do with where you are physically. Like I said, you're so much stronger. You're so much sweeter. You're so much more compassionate. You're so much doper than you actually think that you are. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. And I do feel like you've needed this isolation so that you can rebuild. The center of this season is all about you rebuilding a new life for yourself, a new love for yourself, rebuilding a new concept of self-worth. You're just being forced to face your foundation, and the fact that said foundation may not be conducive to the empire you're trying to build. It also makes me think of this Alanis Morissette song, Wouldn't Come. I think it's called Wouldn't Come. It's like, um, I went on vacation and it wouldn't come. I traveled the world and it wouldn't come. I bought a new car and it wouldn't come. I masturbated and it wouldn't come. I fell in love and it wouldn't come. Like there's something there about like what do you actually want? What do you want to come in? What do you want to experience? And I think that you're in some sort of way letting society or other people dictate what security is for you or what a purpose or passion driven life is for you. Like you just may not have this like accurate concept of what it is that you actually want, babe. And so it's time to get clearer. It's time to get quiet. It's time to get quiet. It's time to like, if you're gonna isolate yourself and be alone, you might as well make it fucking productive, and like use this alone time to really figure out what it is that you want. What do you want your future to look like? And what have you set in motion? Because some of you are unsatisfied with the results of what you've set in motion. And so it's time to go back to the drawing board. Let's get into it. I'll see you over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Links are in the description box below.